Beale Street, home of the Blues, and tonight the site of a premier point guard battle. UConn's Jalen Adams leads the Huskies in scoring, rebounding, and dimes, while Memphis's red-hot Jeremiah Martin yesterday christened the Americans Player of the Week duel. It's UConn meeting Memphis.
Michael Jordan.
A frigid scene outside the FedEx Forum, but the Tigers red hot in their home building, and Memphis welcomes in the UConn Huskies. The Tigers fresh off road success, their first road win in nearly a calendar year. Kareem Bruton Jr. broken play, pass deflected, why not pop it and make it with less than a second to go and take down Temple in overtime. Good evening, everybody. John Sadak alongside the coach, Pete Gillen. What a matchup we have tonight between two prestige programs on the rise.
This is a big-time game. Both these teams are red hot. They both have won 3 games in a row. 2 of the top point guards in the country are going to go at each other. And 2 head coaches that both won a national championship. Stick around. This is going to be fun.
2 teams that have won 3 in a row on the heels of a sluggish start. Each team went 0-2 to begin league play, but has won 3 in a row. Each team has won away from its home building for the first time this year. Last time out, UConn has done it with defense, Memphis with offense, and we break down how they do it with our AT&T Fast Analysis, the inside-outside dynamic of the Tigers.
Jeremiah Martin is playing the best basketball of his career right now. He's Mr. Outside. Worked hard on his 3-point shot during the summer, can really knock it down. And we got Mr. Inside. Mike Parks Jr. got good hands, quick feet, can really score around the basket. Very efficient in there. And for UConn, you got Christian Vital. He really worked hard on his 3-point shot. He's streaky. When he gets hot, forget about it. He can take over a game. And he's also an excellent defender. He's very aggressive, leads the team in steals, anticipates, gets the steals, goes to the cup. He's got to play well today for them to win.
He's part of the top scoring trio in the American Athletic Conference. But one of those big 3 is out tonight. News on the down starter and tip when we're back. Back in the FedEx Forum, where Memphis is 11-1. The Tigers face the Huskies, and the latest in the American shapes up like this. You just saw Cincinnati roar back from a 19-15 halftime deficit to beat UCF. So Memphis and UConn now in a 2-way tie for 4th place. Wichita State and Cincinnati both nationally ranked. Out for the Huskies tonight, Terry Larrier battling headaches. He was elbowed to the face Wednesday against UCF. That's a big loss, Coach.
Big loss. Second leading scorer, second leading rebounder. He plays 35 minutes a game. He's a real key guy, so Huskies really are going to have a tough time now replacing him.
So his 41% mark from outside is gone. Enter Antoine Anderson, his first start since December the 30th against Wichita State.
Yeah, well, he's a gutty guy. Transfer from Fordham. Been struggling from the outside. We watched him today in the shoot-around. Looked like he was knocking it down, working with Coach Kevin Ali. So I think he'll step in and do well.
And Kevin Ollie was tweaking the shot of Antoine Anderson, won a national title his second year as the UConn head coach. A year ago, the program's first losing mark in 30 years. Tubby Smith won a national title his first year at Kentucky. He's now in year 2 with Memphis, trying to take the next step. Tigers are looking for their first 4-game winning streak in conference play in 5 years.
It'll be a great game. Both these teams have terrific athletes, and they play very fast.
And we are underway in Memphis.
UConn starts out man-to-man. They're going to mix up their defenses, but man-to-man to start.
They've been using a lot of zone of late. Will dump inside. Parks hit and the foul. Mike Parks Jr., who's been electric during this win streak.
It's important. The big fella get off to a good start. Confidence, zoom. Ball gets deflected. Good hands. Nice soft touch. The big fella's got a chance now to get a 3-point play.
And that foul goes on Jalen Adams, UConn's leading scorer, that dynamic point guard. The roll of the rim timed at home.
Right, little backspin for the big fella on the foul line.
So the Huskies up the floor. They had a light scoring start last time out, but triumphed on the road at Tulane, ultimately by 10. That was the Huskies' first true road win of the year. screen for Adams. They pick and roll quite a bit. Little hesitation and the floater rattles down.
Great shot by Jalen Adams. Second leading scorer in the American. Terrific player. 2-2-1 zone press here by UConn. You want to do this because Memphis turns the ball over a lot. You want to try to get him out of sync. Go back to man-to-man, sometimes zone.
Memphis, a season worst, 19 turnovers overcome last time out in that road win against Temple.
UConn's in a 2-3 zone now. Zone press back to the zone. They want to make them play against their defense twice.
Martin on high. Snaps the try.
He's on fire, John. You said before, 28 points and 31 and 26 in his last 3 games. Player of the week in the American.
Christian Vital, a 3-quarter. Carlton, the young gun, muscling and traveling. Let's take a look at your keys for tonight's affair.
Well, tonight, for the Huskies, they're going to knock down threes. They shoot 31% from three-point land, which is 9th in the American. And for Memphis, protect the rock. As you mentioned before, 19 turnovers last game. It's not good. Here we have another one.
On cue, right to the rock. Rejected! What a job by Martin to roar back. Now a 1-on-3. Surveys the scene, pressured. Play grounds it out of bounds off the Huskies, 24 to shoot. He can shoot, he can rebound, he can distribute, and he can block shots.
And Anderson goes in. Jeremiah Martin's doing it all. Offense, defense. 2-3 zone by the Huskies. They're doing that because they have trouble guarding dribble penetration. And Memphis really drives very, very well to the basket.
They explore that mid lane, and Parks gets his second bucket.
He's on fire, the big guy. When you get the ball to the big guy early, the confidence grows, and then they get more invested in defense and helping out.
Tigers have made their first 3 from the field. Kevin Ollie said, spark starts at home. Key for Memphis, something UConn wanted to avoid. 3-ball. Near the horn, off target, weak side rebound, and Martin picks the pocket of the big and caught. Attacking on the break, right at Adams. And the help off the iron. Memphis maintains foul in frustration as Davenport gets popped. Josh Carlton's got his first.
Get the ball inside. Mike Parks, nice backspin, nice bounce. So right now he's living right. Got a couple of nice rolls.
And after a foul to Carlton, David Honora checks in. His minutes have gone up since Eric Cobb got suspended indefinitely for conduct detrimental to the team. He's not traveled with the team. Parks kicks. Off the heel, and Adams the weak side board. Adams attacking Martin, curls away. Vital. UConn settling for some jumpers here.
Quick jumpers, that's not their strength. They shoot 31% from downtown. They'd be more patient. Move the defense, move the ball from side to side.
Parks, a great ball screen. Parks trying to post. Davenport eyes him, feeds him. The muscle to the cup, turning around. And a good rebound, a box out by Isaiah Whaley. UConn
really pushes it well. It's one of the weaknesses of Memphis is their fast break defense. Teams are hitting threes on them. Last in American in three-point defense, mainly in transition.
Screen frees up Adams. Give him that shot, he'll drain it.
It's tremendous. Makes it look easy.
Raised ball out of bounds, Tiger basketball.
And UConn goes to their 2-2-1 three-quarter court zone press to try to burn some time off the clock, try to get some turnovers and back to the zone. So they make it play against the defense twice. Memphis, what you got to try to do is try to run by it if you can, or attack it. If you don't, then UConn's playing with house money. In other words, they can press all they want if they don't get burnt. So Memphis got to attack this zone press to get them out of it.
So Tyler Polley checked in for UConn. There was discussion that if Larrier couldn't go, that Polley might have gotten the start today. They went with Anderson instead. Kareem Bruton Jr. into the fray for the Tigers. He had that game winner near the buzzer at Temple. He lurks in the corner and floats it down low. Up soft with the finish, Kevin Davenport.
Yeah, there's a breakdown in the zone. And what happened there? Forward should have been in that area.
Overplay by Martin, frees up Adams. Hops into the lane, snaps. Polley on the deck. Out of bounds. explore the corner. Deny the shooter, but free up the man down low. Plum advantage for Kevin Davenport. And the homestanding Tigers up early. Tigers up 6 on UConn. As we take a look at the two-star point guards in this battle. Two of the top 3 scorers in the American clashing. Jalen Adams already has 1 foul.
Two tremendous point guards. Jalen Adams does everything for the Huskies. Leading scorer, rebounder, assists. Jeremiah Martin's on fire, playing at best basketball of his career. 18 points, 3rd in the conference in scoring, 4 assists, rebounds. We saw he got a steal before, John, and a block shot. So I think two of the top point guards in the country, 2 of the top 15 point guards in the country are playing right here on CBS Sports Network tonight. And
we have seen them go one-on-one with each other at times. Granted, UConn has mostly employed a zone defense. What are they showing here, Coach?
2-2-1, 3/4 court zone press. They're doing that now to try to milk time off the clock, and they'll go back to the zone. Playing the zone because Memphis is not a good 3-point shooting team. They're shooting 30% from downtown. Last season, they shot 29% from 3-point land. And up 1%, they got better. Not much.
And Honora denying Parks fairly well, who springs to the ball, and Martin sets the screen. Martin, the one-handed snap to Davenport. Probing dribble, floats it up. Off iron. Friendly fire on the rebound, won by Adams. Slow it up and run the half court.
They want to get in a track meet with Memphis. Memphis a little deeper, a little more athletic. They want to play fast, but not too fast. Memphis wants a track meet.
Polly to the rack. Flips it home.
That's big. They got to get some help for Jalen Adams. He can't do it by himself. He can't be Superman.
And remember that UConn is playing this game without Terry Larrier. He practiced yesterday, but did no activity at shoot-around, was on an exercise bike, apparently battling headaches. He was elbowed in the face 2 games ago against UCF on Wednesday.
UConn changing D to man-to-man now. Trying to mix it up. Mix it up, making people think. The more you think, the slower the players' feet get on any team.
What a spin by Martin. Scooped up and backed home. Parks on fire at the game start. His 3rd bucket.
Parks having a great start.
Adams doubled and traveled. Able to trap Adams on the end line.
Nice job. No, it was good defense. Spin. I don't like spinning in the lane. I'll tell you, I don't like that because you can't see where the defense is coming from. They got a break on that. Spin in the lane, it's not usually a good move. Defense come to the other side, you can pick your pocket.
Jamal Johnson, what a look. The diagonal give, extra toss. Bruton leans into Whaley for the harm. That's Isaiah Whaley's first.
Kareem Bruton is the X factor. He can get going. He gets hot, boy. With that big jumper you mentioned before, John, against Temple in overtime to give Memphis their first road win. But he's a streaky guy. Junior college All-American and a great get for Tubby Smith.
He's become their 6th man. He was moved to the bench against Bryant December the 9th. That was game 8 when Jamal Johnson was made a starter. As a starter, Bruton averages 7.5 per. He was shooting 33% from the field, only 12.5 from deep. On the bench, 10 points a game, 51% from the field, and a 35% shooter with some clutch makes from outside.
Much better. Some players need to just settle down, get a feel what's going on, watch it, and see where he can exploit the defense. So everybody's different. Some players can play well off the bench, other guys can't.
Free throw crisp. So Whaley, the shot blocker, is out after he picked up the foul. What do you think of this lineup for UConn?
Well, where the point's going to come from, that's the question now. Jalen Adams can't do it by himself. He can't be Superman. He's a tremendous player, but he's got to get some help offensively.
Mamadou Diarra is into the fray. He just bumped with Parks down low. Nice anticipation. The active hands. Jeremiah Martin defensively has been a maven at the start.
He's one of the best steal guys in the American. Terrific play. Really worked hard this summer. He lived in the gym, John. Got better and better. Averaged 10 points a game last year. Now it's 18 points a game. So he's having a fabulous junior season. And a lot of players transferred out of Memphis, as you know. He stayed. He says, hey, I'm going to stay with it. I believe in Coach Schmidt. He won a national championship. Mario Rivers stayed, and those are the 2 guys, starters, that came back, and they're trying to build their team back up. Tubby Smith, I coached against him when I was in Virginia. And he was at Kentucky, a great coach and even a better person.
Shot clock at 5. Adams drains it. The twine barely budges.
He's something.
And you mentioned Rivers. Here's his first touch. He's fresh off the bench. Davenport had it knocked away. And the favor returned by Bruton. Martin eyeballs Tubby Smith, taps his chin, and calls the play.
It's a big key for UConn. The defense got to get their offense going. They struggle in the half court. They don't have an inside scorer. They don't have great perimeter shooters. So they got to get some steals. Almost had one there with Vital.
Shot clock whittling down. Martin near the horn. Parks again. Parks has been a bull underneath the cup.
John, it's Parks' world. We're just living in it.
He's got 9 points already, shooting nearly 75% from the field during this 3-game win streak entering tonight.
Everything he's touching now is turning to gold, so good for him.
Looking for help. Vital, who's had few touches. Bad force.
Hope we got insurance on that backboard. That was a nasty one.
The claim has already been filed. Parks. Oh, what a move. He was looking for the foul there, and he still finishes.
Yeah. Nice move by the big fella. Nice pump fake. His confidence is off the charts right now. You got to double him. The next time it's going in, I think UConn's going to double him, whether in zone or man-to-man.
Is UConn a possession away from needing a timeout, even with the dead ball meaning immediate?
Down 8. Once again, let's give it to the magician, Jalen Adams.
But Memphis wants to run, and after the made bucket, UConn sluggish getting down the floor. Martin calls the play. What a slither. Bounce pass, Parks. Off target, a rarity tonight.
Great pass by Kareem Bruton Jr.
Jalen Adams, 9 of UConn's 11 points. You had the question, where would the other offense come from?
Yeah.
So far, nowhere.
Vital can score, but he's freaky. Right now, he's cold.
And it feels like he doesn't touch the ball a ton at the game start.
No, Vital drives the basket. That's it.
Anderson. Off the iron, long shooting funk over his last 6+ games. What a look. Davenport, hard foul. No, jump ball. The crowd choruses down boos.
Right now, it's all about Mike Parks Jr. Get the big fella the basketball inside. He's around, he's active, he's crashing the glass, aggressive, going after it. Big fella, going after, nice tap in. Parks, nice move, ball moves to the can of worms. To finish with the big fella here in Memphis.
College basketball on CBS Sports Network is sponsored by AT&T.
You know, coming off a ball screen.
Welcome on back to the FedEx Forum here in Memphis as we take a look at the Tigers' activities yesterday. They were among the thousands to visit the National Civil Rights Museum here in Memphis after they toured the museum located at the former Lorraine Motel where the late Martin Luther King Jr. was assassinated 50 years ago this April. The players soaked up the scene and they stood with their coach, Tubby Smith, as he addressed the crowd celebrating Dr. King's legacy on his birthday.
It's a great tour. I was there about 5 years ago, John. It's a great tribute to Dr. King, the National Civil Rights Museum. It's really wonderful. Great tribute to a great man.
Tubby Smith was still soaking up part of that atmosphere when we met with him and his Tigers yesterday in practice. Mike Parks Jr., he has been outstanding in this game. Double figures in 5 of his last 6. Already 12 points in the paint for Memphis. 10 have come from Parks.
Doing a great job. He's controlling the paint right now. I think UConn's going to double him, though. They can't let him continue to dominate.
Another giveaway. Martin. That's 6 turnovers and no assists for UConn.
That's not good. Jeremiah Martin, one of the top steal guys in the American. Terrific player. Outstanding point guard. He's underrated nationally, John, I think, as a point guard.
Adams rejected by Martin. That one-on-one battle has been won decisively by Jeremiah Martin early.
It's a long game, but right now he's playing well.
Victorino. David Nickelberry gives it away. Adams has had some thievery of his own. Lob to Anderson, who's embroiled in a lengthy shooting funk. 0 for 2 tonight. He's 3 for his last 30 from the field.
Wow. He's got to get going. Got to give some help now to Jalen Adams.
Patel. It's been cold for him as well. 0 for 4, all from deep.
Yeah, really streaky. Got to get going.
Rivers goes opposite. Bruton cuts to the cup. Draws the foul. Let's take a look at what Jeremiah Martin has been able to accomplish all over the floor.
Yeah, long arms, good anticipation, very aggressive. He's up for the challenge. He knows he's playing a great player. Goes up, blocks. Jalen Adams is stunned. Jeremiah Martin, terrific player.
Foul to Antoine Anderson, his first. Free throw miss though for Bruton. So Isaiah Whaley back to the fray. He's a shot blocker who they attacked off the bounce, went right at him to give him a foul in the game's infancy.
Yeah, he's a good player, especially defensively, rebounds, block shots. Now, when you're struggling offensively, what you try to do is throw the ball inside, try to get some fouls and try to have a big guy score. But unfortunately, UConn doesn't have a consistent inside scorer. They don't shoot great from the outside, so they got to do it with their defense and their dribble penetration.
Adams pawed at by Martin. Patel puts it on the deck. Tracked down by the Tigers. Giveaways piling up for UConn. 7 turnovers. And Martin with 3 steals to blow that number up. Slips on through. What a bounce. Long load and the 3-ball off. Crowd believes that UConn had last touch. What did you see?
I couldn't tell from our angle, John, be honest with you. I couldn't tell.
And an overrule. Now this is a great officiating crew. All 3 officials in this game tonight have worked Final Fours. Referee Doug Sermons and umpires Pat Driscoll and Jeffrey Anderson.
Yeah, it looked like it was off Antoine Anderson, right? After Jeremiah Martin went up, looks like Anderson hit a good call.
So they get it corrected. UConn hasn't scored in over 3 minutes. It feels like Memphis should be up more than 9.
Exactly, but hanging around, it's a long game. Memphis got to do it, you know, with their offense, but I think Huskies got to help defensively.
Martin. And it feels like Adams is playing a little softer defensively with that foul.
Yeah, he doesn't want to foul. If I'm UConn, I want to go back to his zone, pack it in and say, all right, Memphis, beat me from the perimeter, because Memphis only shoots 30% from 3-point land, John. Right now, the man-to-man, they're penetrating, they're getting a lot of fouls and getting into the lane.
Huskies have 12 shots from the field, 6 from outside, all misses. Overplay, he needs help. Finds Anderson. Shot clock whittling down. And they get a shot clock violation. Anderson saw the timer as he swept to the rim. But Kevin Ollie's got to do some coaching. Jamario Rivers and the Tigers doubling up UConn. Tubby Smith and crew up at home. Tigers doubling up the Huskies in American play, 22-11. Turnovers galore for the Huskies, and a lot of it initiated by Tiger D.
Yeah, very good. Here we go. Jeremiah Martin with a great block, kept it in bounds. A steal by Jeremiah Martin, picks the pocket of Jalen Adams. And here we go again, a block shot. Keep it in bounds, they're off and running. So the defense is getting the offense going for the Tigers.
Points off turnovers, 10 love in favor of Memphis, but for UConn, this is nothing truly new. They're second worst in the country in dimes per ball game, and they've struggled shooting.
Exactly. Not good assists because they don't shoot the ball great for the perimeter. Field goal percentage, 41%. That's lowest in the American. And three-point field goal, 31%. 9th in the American. So they're having trouble scoring. That's why certainly missing their outstanding player, Terry Lariat, today. Second leading scorer.
And that should not be discounted. Their second leading scorer and rebounder, their most efficient shooter. UConn hasn't scored in nearly 4 minutes. In truth, a team that used 12 different starting lineups before tonight was still searching for some identity, and a known commodity is out.
No question. Here we go. 1-3-1 zone here by UConn. They're doing that now to have their defense get their offense going because they're struggling in the half-court offense. They're long and they're athletic. They play a good zone. He's got to cheat now to Jeremiah Martin. Know where he is. Let the other guys beat you if you're the Huskies.
There's Martin. They collapse down in double parks.
Can't let him shoot it. Can't let Jeremiah Martin shoot the ball if you're UConn.
Lob back door. And a shot clock violation.
Great adjustment by Coach Kevin Ollie of UConn. Change the defense, 1-3-1. Memphis didn't have an answer in that possession. Clock's going down, throw the pass. Well, he gets up, gets a little piece of it, but too late. Shot clock violation, Huskies ball.
The clock never started when they inbounded the ball, so they'll have to work the ball into the backcourt again and make sure the clock gets underway. Now, also worth noting, though, in that zone, they continue to overplay in front parks in the zone itself.
They got to do that. Good point. You sound like a coach, John. You're getting pretty cerebral in your time. I thought you were, baseball.
I'm not smart.
You were like scrambled eggs, all sorts of sports, but you sound like you're dialed in with the hoop, too.
Again, the clock does not start upon entry. It's frozen.
Like
and
the
now
weather
we get
here.
proof it does work. Yeah, maybe that's what it is.
The weather,
is it
cold
let
outside.
in from outside?
Yeah, it's freezing outside. Pat Driscoll say, "What's going on? I gotta go home and watch some Law and Order reruns."
Already closed schools for tomorrow.
Yep. Cold outside, cold inside. It's gonna heat up. This game's gonna get tight now. I think the Huskies gonna bounce back a little bit. They're wounded. All right, they're short-handed, but they got a big heart.
Again, the clock does not start on entry. There's home court advantage, but
you got the lead. You want the clock to go quick, not slow.
Even the thick gear inside the building. I didn't know Christmas sweaters were still allowed at this stage.
Yeah, well, they got scarves on and heavy jackets. They're not used to the cold weather here in Memphis, John, as much. Not on January 16th.
The legendary Jim Rome brings the jungle to our weekday lineup as he tackles the biggest stories in the world of sports. Watch the Jim Rome Show weekdays at noon right here on the 24-hour home of CBS Sports. Well, these Tigers are really good in this building. 11-1 at home, first time in 5 years. The last time Memphis accomplished that, 2012-13. That team would go 17-1 at home. The only loss to the eventual national champion Louisville, part of 31 victories that year, including one in the NCAA tournament.
Yeah. Tough to beat here. They had great fans. The fans are very knowledgeable. They're very intense, and the players rise up, and the fans are really a big help to them. Tonight, it's still a good crowd, not a great crowd because of the snow and the ice outside. But a couple of senior guys just chilling out.
So if they cannot remedy this clock problem, as we see a member of the building facilities crew over to try to aid things, what are the other options? Can they keep time there on the floor?
Oh, they can. They have a hand clock. There's got to be something. They have to have a stopwatch for the, for the shot clock, and they get another clock for the game clock. So they can do that. I'm sure they have a backup somewhere now. It might be one of the back rooms, so it might take a while.
Now, this is the NBA home of the Memphis Grizzlies in addition to the Memphis Tigers. Jeffrey Anderson fresh off his first Final Four a year ago. The dialogue with Tubby Smith. Does this delay favor either team?
Well, I think it favors UConn. Once again, they struggle early. Let's get together. Memphis had a great run, up 22-11. So, yep.
And we mentioned how outstanding Memphis has been at home. In fact, each of these teams 11-1 in their home buildings. But for Tubby Smith and company, there's a giant disparity in scoring, defense, and the free throw difference enormous.
It's amazing. Well, once again, it's confidence, and you feel good. You feel in your own building. You feel comfortable, but that is a big gap. Once again, 11-1 and 1-5 on the road. Let's see. We're here with
technical difficulties over there with the
the clock. Okay. All right. Thanks, Doug.
So we get confirmation that indeed clock issues that we believe are rectified. Game clock, yes.
All right, the
and
fans.
the shot clock.
You want to go home. You don't want to stay here all night.
The Bronx cheer in Memphis. Yep. Jalen Adams. They cycle off ball. Batal finds Anderson. Antoine Anderson, timer dwindling at 5. Anderson hesitates. Did he get it off in time?
You have to check the clock. I don't think he did. It was a bang-bang play, John, but I thought the shot clock went off, but we'll see if he's going to check the monitor.
It's hard to tell from that shot. There was no red light up of the shot clock that we could tell, and
then it should be
didn't
good.
Seem to see. No.
But he still had it in his hand. It was
so on the backboard it lit up. On the actual shot clock, no. So without a bucket, that would mean no points for the Huskies for nearly 5 minutes.
The thing that's a gauge is the backboard, that light, because it might be like a, hundredth of a second different. That light's all right. The light is on in the backboard. Yep, backboard there. You see it's off. The ball is still in his hands. It looked like it was late in live view, John, but.
On top of the smothering defense, how much of it for Antoine Anderson in that spot? His slump shooting the basketball, that slight pause.
Yeah, I think he was a little hesitant. Once he's been struggling for the perimeter, as you mentioned before. But at least the ball went in, even though sadly it didn't count for the Huskies. But credit to defense by the Memphis Tigers. They're doing a great job on the defensive end.
Anderson, without this bucket, embroiled in a 3 for 30 slump from the field and an 0 for 15 slide from deep.
Ooh, that hurts. He's a good player. Unfortunately, he's really struggling now, and transferred from Fordham. He's a graduate student from Rochester, New York.
Leaning,
yep,
twisting.
Go up on the board. It's too late.
Yeah, with that angle. Now, Anderson, you mentioned Fordham. In his 3-year career with the Rams, he was a 33% outside shooter, and he was Mr. Big Shot. Hit buzzer beaters to best VCU in overtime, to beat St. Joe's in double overtime.
Yeah, good player. Once again, coming up to the American Athletic Conference, it's a step up. Atlantic 10's a very good league, but American, I think, is even stronger competition.
And we do get the declaration accurately so, no basket.
And arrange it pause, John. 2-3 zone here by UConn. Trying to match up, cheat to a guy in their area. They better cheat to Jeremiah Martin right there. You want him to shoot it. Now they're matching up man to man.
What explosion. Jeremiah Martin, 9 points, 4 boards, 2 blocks, and 3 steals.
Great job. That time UConn switched to a man-to-man after a while, and he just blew by his man, went right to the cup.
Adams can't pass the ball to himself.
Yep. Martin's taking as a challenge. Hey, I'm going to go against this great player, Jalen Adams, first team preseason all-conference.
Batal wide open. Buries the triple. That snaps the scoreless drought at 5 minutes and 43 seconds.
A giant shot that time for the Huskies. 1-3-1 zone. They're long and athletic. They can play the zone pretty good. All right. They stay in the zone.
Parks to the rack. Banks it home. He's got 13.
Great pass that time by Jeremiah Martin. He's doing it all. Scoring, passing. Excellent defense on first team preseason all-conference player Jalen Adams.
And Parks has nearly matched UConn by himself. Anderson on a switch has Parks. Attacks, nice give, and the banker, Josh Carlton, taps it in.
Great penetration. The defender came up and he dumped it down inside to the big guy.
Active hands there by Isaiah Whaley. Jeremiah Martin's having a fantastic night, continuing his torrid play.
Yeah, UConn goes man-to-man. He goes right by his man. There you go. Throw the ball against his zone. Nobody picks him up. Mike Parks is wide open. Great pass by Jeremiah Martin. Nice finish by the big guy using the glass.
The Memphis is elected to go smaller here. Rainier Thornton out, Kareem Bruton in. While UConn sends Quentin Williams into the contest, who only plays 6 minutes a game. Hard screen picked off Adams. Able to reset on Martin, who nearly turns it over. Somehow keeps dribble. Extra give, slithering end line. What a wraparound. Davenport with one on the timer. Team basketball.
Great offense by Memphis, sharing the basketball.
Tubby Smith told us at practice yesterday, simplification of the offense has led to more scoring variety.
No question. This way the players are not thinking too much on the play. Just play. Pass and move, pass cut to the basket. Keep it simple.
5 out here for UConn. Baseline J on the way. Rattles in for Isaiah Whaley, who's oddly shooting better from the field than he is the free throw line. 60 versus 58%.
That's good. Huskies go back to man-to-man. You got to cut down the dribble penetration. That's one of their weaknesses. They cannot defend dribble penetration. People get into the paint too easily against UConn.
Both teams on fire. A combined 7 for their last 7 from the field. Parks, the longer 2. Off fire and a heat check. Stripped by Martin. Bullies it up. And a whistle on the floor. Looks like they'll get Davenport here for his first. So the Tiger lead sits at 10. The home of the King. And the Tigers reigning supreme late in the first.
Delta was shining like a national guitar.
Tigers up 28-18 on the Huskies in this American Athletic Conference affair. Coming your way on AT&T at the half. Brent Stover, Danny Granger, Gary Parrish, John Rothstein in our New York studios. They'll get you caught up on a busy night in college hoops. All that and more heads your way on AT&T at the half. Jeremiah Martin, the star guard from Memphis, has been brilliant.
He does a great job. Now the ball gets deflected here. Okay, bunch of passes now by the Tigers. There's one right here. All right, clear it. Boom. 2 over here. He drives the ball. Baseline. There's 3 right there. 3 passes. Boom. Good sharing the basketball. Davenport with the jump shot. Very unselfish for the Memphis Tigers.
And UConn playing without Terry Larrier. Now Larrier last season missed all but 4 games. Tore his ACL November the 21st against Oklahoma State. Injuries riddled the Husky campaign that resulted in a losing season for the first time in 30 years at 16-17.
Yeah. They got a brutal schedule this year. They're a very young team. They weren't ready for playing Arizona and at Auburn, who's a terrific team this year. And that Phil Knight 80, PK 80, playing Arkansas or Michigan State. They beat Oregon, which is a great win. But
Adams nearly stripped, puts it on the floor, picked up by Davenport. Bruton off the fake, cuts rim, rejected. Way to pick it up on D. I loved your interaction with Kevin Ollie at shoot-around today. Your first words to the head coach were, hey, coach, I got to ask you. You could see him slightly tense. Who the heck made your schedule?
Exactly. It's murderer's row. I mean, they played a couple of mediocre teams, but this young team was not ready to play that brutal schedule. But once again, you know, things happen. People transfer. People get hurt. So UConn is UConn. They want to play a great schedule.
Johnson off the heel. Parks gets the flat-footed rebound. But Ollie, to his credit, said that he thought that schedule made them better, that they were cashing in on some of that.
I disagree with Kevin. I love Kevin, but once again, I think it hurts their confidence. Play some tough ones, John, but once again, you got to play, you know, when you're ready. You know, schedule, a lot of it was made up a number of years ago, so I understand that. But I mean, schedule was too tough for this young team with, you know, only, you know, 1 starter back, Jalen Adams, because Larry was hurt most of the year. Tariq Gilbert was hurt most of the year. So, but Kevin's a great coach, and once again, he'll get them going. Just going to take some time. They got to continue to recruit and elevate their talent. They have solid talent. They got to get it even better.
And they're without Larrier tonight. They're, of course, without Gilbert, the preseason conference rookie of the year. Played 6 games and then aggravated the shoulder issue that cost him most of last year.
This game's not over now. Long way to go. They're down 10. Long way to go.
Another giveaway, though. The turnovers continue to pile up for the Huskies. Davenport finds Parks.
Surprised they don't double him, John. You know, go after the big guy. Don't let him back his man in. That's it. Double him. They can make a jump shot. If he makes it, he makes it. Okay. They can make that jump shot.
Snaps a nearly 2.5-minute scoreless drought for Memphis, in which UConn could not bring it back to single digits. Antoine Anderson, more of a defensive specialist, extra ball handler, start of the year. They need him to score. And the long drought from deep continues. Parks won the rebound. Bruton floats it over. Johnson floats it home.
Nice shot for the freshman, Jamal Johnson, 6'3" freshman from Birmingham, Alabama. I coach against his dad, Buck Johnson, who's a great player for Alabama.
Timeout, UConn. The coaches will talk it over. It's the largest margin we've seen in the game.
Right now we see a double team in a post, but it's not an aggressive double team. The ball goes inside, the ball starts here, it goes inside. All right, but we got a late double team. They come in too late, hold it right there. It's not aggressive enough. He kicks it here, right here, to Davenport, wide open. The double team's got to be quicker and more aggressive. Too soft by Whaley, the freshman. Jump shot for Davenport. Good offense for the Tigers. Inside out.
Coach, are you surprised that it took UConn until 1 minute plus to go to call its first timeout? Granted, the whole first half is tilted Memphis' way.
Yeah, I use timeouts if we don't get the jump ball. I use one, but so I'm just the opposite end of the spectrum, John. But yeah, I want to stop the bleeding. When you're down, the team goes on a 6-0 run. You're not playing well. Well, to each his own. Everybody's different. Kevin won a national championship and coaching in a bar league in Virginia, part-time.
Adams. Lots of one-and-dones. The rebounding margin continues to widen. Memphis is plus 11 on the glass. And UConn hasn't scored in 3.5 minutes.
Great coach of Kentucky, Adolph Rupp, legend, said the team that controls the boards controls the game. Right now, Memphis is controlling the game and the boards.
Rimmed out on Davenport. Timer turned off. What's the look for UConn?
High ball screen. I get the ball to my best player, Jalen Adams, and have him with a ball screen. Have Josh Carlton set a screen, your center. Get the ball to your best player now. Jeremiah Martin trying to deny it. Get him a ball screen.
5 seconds. Deep three, Vitale. Davenport wins it. And Memphis crushing UConn at halftime. Kevin Olling and company down their second leading scorer and rebounder. Down 32-18. Now, the last time they met Memphis, they roared back from down 17. That was at home when each team won its home ball game last year in the series. Coming up after the break, we'll send you back to our studio in New York, AT&T at the half. You're watching college basketball on CBS Sports Network, the 24-hour home of CBS Sports. (32-18) Memphis on top of UConn. Graceland, a national treasure, the second most visited house in America, second only to the White House. I hear Pete Gillen's cabana is somewhere in the top 10.
We don't have a roof on our cabana, unfortunately.
Welcome on back, John Sadak and the coach, Pete Gillen. This first half marred by giveaways for UConn. Deadly defense for Memphis.
Great defense by Memphis. Jeremiah Martin, who's second in the American in steals, had 3 steals. And Mike Parks was unbelievable inside. 13 points. He controls the paint. So Martin and Parks, those guys were great. Unfortunately, UConn, you got to give help to Jalen Adams. He can't do it by himself. He's a great player, but he needs help.
We'll break it down as we revisit our AT&T fast analysis.
Here we see the big guy inside. Deflection. Ball goes to him. Parks gets a little bit of a roll. Gets his confidence going. Mistake in his zone. He's open. Great pass by Jeremiah Martin. Parks again. Dominated the pace. 6 for 9 to the field. Here we go. Jeremiah Martin with a steal. He got 3 steals in the first half. Outstanding. One of the top point guards in the country that a lot of people don't know about. 11 turnovers for Memphis. They caused 11 points off the turnovers by the Huskies.
And also keep in mind that UConn only averages 13 giveaways a game. The season high, 19 points in the paint owned by the Tigers, because that's where Parks did his damage.
Exactly. How about the rebounds here? We see 18 rebounds to 7, so they killed them on the board. So it was all Memphis first half. But hey, it's a 40-minute game. It's not over yet, but we got to get some help now for Jalen Adams. Anderson's got to get hot from downtown, or Patel, or 2 perimeter guys got to help him out a little bit. I'd go inside to the big guy inside. I think Josh Carlton, the big talented freshman from UConn, he's a little raw, played at DeMatha High School in D.C. Get him to basketball.
Worst scoring first half for the Huskies in just about a year. You saw it on the graphic. January the 19th of last year at SMU had 15. They're doing it tonight with Larrier buried on the bench with injury. And Memphis continues sizzling right out of the gate. Jamal Johnson.
Jamal Johnson's improving. He's only a freshman, but he's a very good shooter. He's relaxing a little bit, and Coach Tubby Smith's giving him a lot of time, sticking with him. He's getting better and better.
It was a fairly foul-free first, 6 combined fouls. Just 2 on the Tigers that came in the last couple of minutes of that stanza. Adams, the jump bounce pass, Whaley hit and foul. Both Parks and Davenport were there.
Yep.
Looks like they'll get Parks here.
Nice pass by Adams, attacked the basket. 2 free throws now for Whaley. Now, UConn has not shot a free throw yet so far tonight. It's the first free throw. It means they're not aggressive enough, John, going to the basket.
They are the top free throw shooting team in the American at 76%. Whaley, though, is one of the weak links, entered just 11 of 19, 58% of the year.
It's important he makes it. Now, if he makes it, you can go into your press if you're UConn. I'd come after him a little bit.
That's exactly what they do.
2-2-1 zone press. Don't be aggressive in it. You got to get good trap. The traps are soft, John. You have soft trap, then you go 4-on-3 going against you.
Hard to trap Martin. They tried to at the midcourt line. Extra give. Parks spinning. Off the iron, Adams. Jalen Adams surveys the scene behind his man, Christian Vital. Another turnover. It's a dozen for Kevin Ollie's team.
That hurts now. It was a good sequence that time. Good defense by the Huskies, but you got to make them pay when you get that transition game going.
You could feel the pain and the bewilderment on Kevin Ollie's face there.
Yeah, no, he's not going to give up. You got to keep swinging. Tigers, take your time. I keep going inside of my big guy, Mike Parks.
What a slip to the cup by Rainier Thornton.
Yeah, I like Rainier Thornton. He's very aggressive, John. He gives him a physicality, a toughness. He's good by the rim. 6'6" junior from Marietta, Georgia.
He has struggled at the line 57%. His scoring decidedly down during this 3-game spurt. It's Thornton, the rare Tiger that's not shined. He's been 0 for 6 from the field, 5 points in the prior 3 games. One of a bevy of junior college transfers making a major impact after only 2 starters held on for Tubby Smith.
Memphis has some older players, some junior college kids, and UConn have a lot of freshmen that are playing. So it's a big difference those 2 years.
Saw the seam, Anderson to the rim, and the whistle.
Anderson comes off the pick and roll. There's hesitation dribble. Good call. Kevin Davenport steps in. Good call. Jeff Anderson, charge.
And what did we see at Memphis practice yesterday? We saw a drill that lasted several minutes working on doing exactly that, taking those charges.
Exactly. It's a big part of the game. Certainly, if you don't have a shot blocker, you try to take charges.
Travel. Pull the chair out there, and Parks takes a tumble.
Yep. Good call. But I like the aggressiveness. Mike Parks is feeling good. He's being very aggressive. It's important to have an inside scorer. Unfortunately, UConn does not have that.
13 times the Huskies have given it away. That's their per game average. They've only made 8 shots from the field. That includes a 2 for 10 showing from 3. Anderson, the nice give. The hook off. Memphis with major numbers. Martin. He joins Parks in double digits. Adams has been a one-man show.
Yeah, great shot by Jalen Adams, pulling up.
Team high 11 points for Jalen Adams.
2-3 zone now by UConn. I like it.
And a whistle on high. Anderson.
Yeah.
That'll be his.
Bounce pass, good shot. Josh Carlton is just raw. He's very young, but get the ball real close to the basket. A gamble by Vital. That's what happens. They make you pay. You miss on a steal, and Tigers get a layup. 2-3 zone. Got to be active in the zone. The high post is the weakness. Get the ball to the foul line now if you're Memphis.
Martin.
They'll get the ball to Jeremiah Martin. Let him shoot it. You can't let him shoot it.
14 points, a game high.
He's playing the best basketball of his career right now, John, as you know. Last 3 games, 28 points, 31 points, 26 points. He's on his way to another excellent game this evening.
Physical on the sideline run. That'll be Thornton's first. Martin can do it all, including shoot.
Yep. Got space. Can't give him space. Tremendous range. Strong. Worked hard all summer on his perimeter game. He averaged 10 points a game last year, and the leading returning scorer coming back for the Tigers, and really lived in the gym. And I think he's an outstanding point guard, John. I think he's one of the top 15 point guards in the country, defensively and offensively.
UConn spreading the floor, seemingly draining clock here.
Yeah.
You're down almost 20.
Yeah. Well.
Huskies maintain defensive rebounding, a weakness for Memphis on the year. First half, they were great. Extra give, count it, and one. Josh Carlton a chance for a three-point play.
Whaley with a nice dump down. Good catch by Josh Carlton. Nice finish. That's what they got to try to go inside. Unfortunately, these guys are 2 freshman players, John. They're going against some veteran guys. Mario Rivers, when he's in the game, he's a senior, and a lot of juniors, so that's the problem.
Carlton coming off perhaps his best game as a Husky when he had 10 and 6 at Tulane. Told the Hartford Courant afterward, I think that was my biggest step forward.
He had a good game against Tulane. That's a good road win for UConn.
Oh, Martin. So elusive, stepping back. Parks again.
Right place, right time.
He's been there a lot.
Exactly. No, give him credit.
Highly efficient, over 70% in his JUCO days, something that didn't translate thanks in part to knee tendonitis and some extra LBs at the start of the year.
That was a big thing, right? He was injured.
Air ball. Parks says thank you. Martin. Ball screen, Parks over top, re-screen. Little shovel, Davenport.
We're pushing if you're UConn.
Patel, contested Jay, an ugly brick. Patel, just 1 made field goal on the game at 8 tries.
Yeah, that's struggling. Once again, he's very streaky right now. He's ice cold. Credit the defense by Memphis, John, though. They're doing a nice job on him.
The absence of Terry Larry are significant for the Huskies.
Yeah. He and Jalen Adams are going to go as far as those 2 players will take him, but Adams is by himself now for the most part.
Line drive miss, and he tracks down the rebound. How can the shooter from midcourt find that ball?
That shouldn't happen. Yeah. Mike Parks, he's doing a great job right now. He's controlling the paint offensively, very active. He's all around the ball, keeps the ball up. Nice finish for the big fella. He's having a great game. Tubby likes it. Tubby knows his big guy is coming on. So are the Tigers in Memphis.
Both Both head coaches today have reached the pinnacle of their profession. Year one at Kentucky, Tevye Smith beat Utah in the championship game. Jeff Sheppard, most outstanding player. Cats won it all without a lottery pick. In 2014, Kevin Ollie's second year with UConn, his first with postseason eligibility, a national title. Shabazz Napier, a big part of that success, the fourth overall for Ollie's alma mater. So this matchup tonight is the seventh of the year in college basketball between coaches that have won a national crown. Number 8, head your way Saturday on CBS when it's UConn in Hartford at the XL Center against number 1 Villanova. Iron Eagle Bill Raftery will have the call. I think onions might be had.
No, two superstars. Iron Eagle's great and Bill Raff is a superstar, so stick with that. He'll enjoy that game on CBS.
What ball movement by the Tigers. Eno, though, gets a shot blocked.
UConn's got to be a lot more aggressive. Push the break, attack the basket. That's it. Great move.
Martin, 3-on-2. Fouled by Polly.
Yep, nice Euro step. He's a great finisher in transition, Jeremiah Martin-John. A big-time finisher. It's a nice Euro step. He was going around his man and got fouled.
And Martin tonight with 14 points. His next bucket could be a biggie. For Memphis this year, when he scores 14 or 15 or more, the Tigers are 11-2. When he scores less than 15 points, they're 1-4.
A terrific player, and he's gotten better and better, really worked hard. Now, push it, Huskies.
Huskies endured their worst scoring first half of the year, their worst in just about a calendar year.
Credit the defense by Memphis. They're doing a great job defensively.
Telegraphed. Rivers, the former football player, leaves for Bruton. Puts it home, and you feel like UConn needs a timeout here.
Yeah, I love Jamario Rivers. The hardest working guy in that team. We're talking to Coach Tevye Smith yesterday, you and I, and he says every day he's the hardest working guy in the gym. He's tremendous enthusiasm. He's our emotional leader. He started to come off the bench. You know, he got a concussion against Louisville, missed some games. They really missed him when he was out.
Anderson draws the foul. Eno with his first. Huskies, though, without their second leading scorer and rebounder tonight, Terry Larrier, the VCU transfer, battling headaches. He was on an exercise bike at shoot-around today with a hoodie just about covering the entirety of his head and face. And you can see and feel the despondent distance for Larrier, tethered to the bench.
Yeah, it's a big loss. Once again, the Huskies will only go as far as Jalen Adams, and Terry Larrier will take him. And Jalen Adams is a great player, but he can't do it by himself. He's got young guys that are trying to learn. They're going to be good players, but they're not quite ready yet.
One-handed rebound, UConn maintains. Anderson bumped in the air, wins it back. Memphis basketball. You can feel the fight in this Husky team these last few possessions.
They're fighting. They're just frustrated. They can't get a bounce, and they can't get a break, but got to keep swinging. 40-minute game. They're down 19.
Anderson, the steal to the rim, draws the foul from Rivers. And the bench exploded for UConn, all popping up.
Yep, they're 0-up. Kevin Ali, hey, we're not giving up. This game ain't over yet. We're in a deep hole. 13 minutes to go. Got to keep swinging. So again, Memphis had 19 turnovers last game, so they get some turnovers, get some momentum, they can close the gap.
Anderson, for his struggles in the field, he's automatic at the line, 88%, tied for second in the American.
We got to try to get into the bonus situation.
And a lane violation. Call a foul here. They're going to get Williams. So that's 6 on UConn. That means 1 away from bonus in Memphis's favor. Here's different pressure.
Yeah. Man-to-man, maybe trap, the ball goes into the corner. Oh, we got it.
Out of bounds. The UConn with some feverish defense.
Yep. Great hustle by the Huskies. Man-to-man. Yeah. Nice, a good hustle.
But can they pay it off with a bucket? No field goals in 3.5 minutes. Missing 5 in that time.
I drive the ball. Swing it side to side, then drive the ball. Antoine Anderson, try to attack the basket, or Jalen Adams, right? Go to the basket.
Adams matched up with Martin on the far side. 3 and 4 in white and blue. Give it away. Bruton with Martin. 16 points for Jeremiah Martin. And Adams out of control. You can feel his personal frustration boiling.
Yep. Jeremiah Martin looks like he might have a cramp. Hopefully it's nothing worse. Good hustle. Here we go in transition. Bruton to Jeremiah Martin with the finish. He might have a little cramp. He's favored a little bit. Hopefully he's okay. Plays a lot of minutes, John. As you know, he played 43 minutes against Temple in their last game in the overtime. He's going to wear down. He played 20 minutes the whole first half, John.
I think he's okay with it.
No. He's a gamer.
Adams. Flat-footed rebound. Rivers feeds Nickelberry. Right back to Rivers. Size mismatch. Help comes. UConn packing it in. Adams showing to be a little weary up the floor.
Yeah, he might have some cramps. Yep.
Easy look for Bruton, and Adams starts to journey toward the bench. He's got to come out of the game.
Yeah, he's got cramps, something. Hopefully it's nothing serious, but.
Kevin Ollie was pointing at Adams and motioning to our officials. The margin is ballooned to 22, and the Huskies, by far best scorer, battling issues unknown. CBS Sports Network back on the hardwood tomorrow night. College hoops triple header, highlighted by prolific scorer Trayvon Blewett. Number 11 Xavier against St. John's, 8:30 Eastern. Don't miss the battle in the Big East on the 24-hour home of CBS Sports. History could be had. Chris Mack tied with our own Pete Gillen for the most wins in Xavier lore. And we just so happen to have Pete Gillen here courtside, the man who mentored Chris Mack. And you apparently have found a small little note that might change the impact of tomorrow.
Could change a little bit. Chris has done a great job. I love coaching him. He was a tremendous coach, an unbelievable job at Xavier, top 10, fabulous. And right now it's 2-0-2, but I appeared to the NCAA. I said, hey, it was a game against Michigan State. We're up 46-43. It was an ice. The game was called. I appealed. He says, yes, we're going to give you a half a win. 202.5. So for the next few hours, I slightly have the Xavier all-time record. But Chris is going to pass real soon, probably tomorrow, maybe on Saturday. And congratulations to Chris Mack. He's done an unbelievable job. He's an awesome coach and a class young man with a great family.
An outstanding career by you as well, my friend.
Thank you, John.
Does it mean a little more to see one of your guys?
Oh yeah, no question.
Accomplish that?
Records are going to be broken. I knew that was going to happen, but it's great when you have a Xavier guy, and fortunate to coach him. He transfers from Evansville, and fortunate to have him. And I wish the Musketeers continued success. They got a great program, and they're doing a wonderful job. And they love the Big East, and they're really flourishing really, really well.
Foul on David Nickelberry. So each team will have bonus the rest of the way. Tyler Polley at the stripe, where UConn could try to get back in this game, the top free throw team in the American. And Polley, who had only missed one of his first 12 from the line of the year, misfires. The special categories are significantly lopsided. Again, a whistle. There'll be a lane violation here. We're talking about the UConn Huskies. Jalen Adams on the bench grimacing. We saw him go off the floor, prompting that last media timeout. But speaking of those special categories, points in the paint are 32-8 Memphis. Points off turnovers are 16-1 Memphis.
Yeah, killing in the paint is Tubby Smith, great coach. We have a technical foul on Christian Vital. He said something to the crew chief, Doug Sermons. Can't do that. I know you're frustrated. Things aren't going great. You're not shooting the ball well. You're getting beat by 22 points, but you got to respect the officials.
So Jamal Johnson, only a 59% free throw shooter. Vital, though, made some headlines Wednesday against UCF. He was involved in some on-court confrontations, arguments, one pregame, more during the game, some pushing and shoving. Kevin Ollie was asked about it after the game, and he said, we don't want suspensions to some of our best players. Christian Vital entered tonight as UConn's third leading scorer. You've got to keep your emotions in check. And Shabazz Napier addressed the team before the Tulane game. He singled out particular players, apparently.
Yeah, exactly.
And it seemed like Vital, part of the message was bring it in check.
Yeah. Great shot that time. Exactly. Kareem Bruton with the nice shot in the lane. But, yeah, he's a terrific player, but he's very emotional. Sometimes he gets a little out of control. And, you know, emotion is good, but you got to challenge on, you know, and he's a good player, but you got to mature. You can't do that. It's only a sophomore from Queens Village in New York, and you got to control your emotions.
Tap ball. Anderson feeds corner. Vital gets some back. That snaps an 8-0 Memphis run.
So again, he's like a microwave now. He can get hot.
UConn has missed 8 of its last 9 from the field, even with that bucket. Memphis looking for its 12th win in 13 games at home. The lone loss to LSU in the non-conference finale, a game you had.
Yep. Yeah, the LSU played great. Jermaine Waters is an outstanding point guard, and now Jamario Rivers was hurt that game, so he was not himself.
Things getting a little chippy in the corner.
Yep. Christian Vital had plenty of time, space, knocked it in. Streaky shooter. 60% of his shots are from three-point land. So it's good to have Jalen Adams back, John.
Back into the game, number 4. Three-point shooting, not great on the night, but that's been the norm on the year for these teams. That's not their respective strengths.
Right. 2 of the weaker three-point shooting teams in the American. At Memphis at 30%. And UConn at 31%. Good percentage, John. It's 34-35. If you do that, it's solid. Anything more is really good.
Parks giving the one-on-one, says thank you. The sweeping hook over Carlton.
When the big guy's doing that, you got to double him. And you got to have an aggressive double team.
An outright career high 17 for Parks. And Vital. Stops are perhaps even more important here for UConn. Bruton. Parks wants it. They're doing this with Martin on the bench. Parks fouled. It's been a career night for Mike Parks.
What I would do now here, he's posting up. A ball goes inside here. All right, freeze it right there, right there. He's there. I send Whaley at him. I would double team him. Too much time and space. Now you don't do it. He reads it. He's got all week. He's taking his time. He's backing his man in. He's like in the park. Shot. I would double team the big guy when he, you know, certainly he did a great job. He was owning the paint. You got to double him.
When it's your night, it's your night.
Yeah. Now he's got the Midas touch tonight. Everything, the ball's coming to him, but he's active. Give him credit. He's worked hard and very happy for the young man.
Over his last 4 games, including tonight, as they look for their 4th straight win, he has shot 72% from the field.
It's amazing. Yeah. And he's a big body, big wide body. Got a nice touch. He said he's healthy. Had some problem with his knees, as you mentioned before, tendonitis. Lost some weight, as you said. So, hey, doing a great job. You need that. You have to have an inside scorer.
Adams harassed by Martin, who's back in the game. The double comes. Whaley, extra give. Nice look to Carlton.
Freshman to freshman.
Does UConn need to ratchet up defensive intensity?
Well, once again, they got to try to double team a little bit, but Memphis is handling the ball very well. They got 3 quick guards in there. There you go.
It feels like bodies are flying in from everywhere.
Yeah.
Active for Memphis getting involved.
Yeah, they're a step quicker. It's the second game of a road trip. UConn went to beat Tulane, he stayed on the road, came here. So sometimes young guys are anxious to get home.
Parks the block. Memphis thrives in its home arena. Martin on high.
Jeremiah Martin, remember the name, because he's got game. What a run he's on. Best basketball of his career right now, John.
Mattel stepping back. Heat check and the weak side rebound of the Tigers and Jamal Johnson.
Not a good shot. The time to lose. Intense defense. Not good.
If the Tigers want, they can take the air out of the ball, but I think they're having too much fun.
Sure, just keep playing. Keep being aggressive.
Martin. Over Adams. Parks might have gotten away with one there. Adams on the run.
Yeah.
Saw a size mismatch and the foul.
You heard about the running of the Bulls in Pamplona, Spain. Right now, we got the Tigers are running, controlling this game. It's all Tigers here in Memphis. Jeremiah Martin, step back. Don't be so beat. Bang. Jeremiah Martin, remember the name. He's got game.
Here's how things shape up in the American. Wichita State, Cincinnati, both unblemished. Cincinnati won an ugly one, came back from behind at UCF. Memphis and UConn tied for that 4th spot in the American Athletic Conference. There's a shot at a Memphis Tiger great, Penny Hardaway, now the head coach at Memphis East High School. Not sure if Little Penny's in the house. I haven't seen him yet.
No.
Could be hiding behind one of the chairs.
My son, I was his favorite player when Penny was playing in college and then on to the NBA. A great players. Jersey retired there, number 25, 1991 to 93, playing for the Tigers. Great player, class guy. Met him a couple of times just to say hi, and he's really revered here in Memphis.
Bonus free throws. They'll be had for both teams down the stretch. 7 fouls on the Tigers, 8 on the Huskies. Each team's got 3 timeouts. Carlton. Sand Sweater hits the free throw. And there's a look at what the duo of Jeremiah Martin and Parks, they've outscored UConn themselves.
Amazing. A great game, and UConn just struggling. We got to keep playing. It's a long season. This game looks like it's out of reach. Got to keep playing, try to get better, try to improve, try to have some positive things the last 7 minutes, even though you're probably not going to win the game.
Anderson, he's been a maven defensively. 4-on-1, flown it up. 4-on-1, coach.
Yeah. I wouldn't throw an alley-oop when you're down 26 points.
But that's emblematic in many ways of the disconnect the Huskies have had tonight.
Yeah, just nothing's going right. Anderson, once again, you gotta know who you're throwing to, for sure.
Martin and Parks, by the way, each with a double-double tonight. Each has 19 and 10. First time the Tigers have had a pair of double-doubles in the same game in just about a calendar year at Houston, January 19th, a year ago. With no angle, Bruton. It rains and pours.
He's terrific. Kareem Bruton is the X factor. Boy, he can give him a big lift off the bench.
And he's the 3rd Tiger to double figures. Largest lead of the game as Memphis has ballooned it to a 64-36 margin.
Yep. Bruton is a junior college All-American, along with Kevin Davenport. So 2 terrific recruits. Tubby Smith in the junior college ranks.
Hard foul. Anderson hammered. That'll be Kevin Davenport with his second. It was margins like this that marred the end of last season for Tubby Smith and company. They got blown out by 40 in the regular season finale. That was against SMU. They lost by 30 in the first round of the American Athletic Conference tournament. That was to UCF. And then the mass exodus of players. Only 2 held on. including Jeremiah Martin, who has become the vocal and on-floor leader for Tubby Smith. A pronounced rise and peak in that activity since the two had a closed-door meeting in the last couple of weeks.
Exactly. Now, great point, John. And Jeremiah Martin's a leader. He's a tremendous player. And Jeremiah Rivers is the hardest worker on the team. So these two guys were loyal to Memphis and their school and their city. And he said, hey, we want to stay here. And Jeremiah Martin is from Memphis and build our program back up. And they got a good team this year. Got 12 wins now, trying to get number 13. So still a long way to go. They're getting better and better.
Bruton keeping the balance. Nice bounce pass and the foul as Johnson gets sandwiched. David Honora, the Cornell transfer. So Johnson to the strike. Coming off a solid performance in the overtime triumph at Temple when he had 7 rebounds, a season high. Born and raised in the heart of Cincinnati, Mick Cronin has a deeper connection to his program than most. Don't miss Men of March, Mick Cronin, tonight, 11:30 Eastern, right here on CBS Sports Network. Can you separate the Xavier-Cincinnati rivalry for that?
Well, no, I'm a fan of Mick Cronin. Coached at Xavier for 9 years, but Mick Cronin's done an unbelievable job there. Brought him to the tournament 6 years in a row, and this will be number 7. So, unbelievable job, Mick. I know him. He was an assistant coach in Cincinnati in the high school ranks. So he did a great job there, and you know, he's built up and worked for Bob Huggins and Rick Pitino, 2 tremendous coaches, and he's doing a great job with their program.
You rarely see a shot blocked by 3 different men at once. I think that just happened.
Yeah, no, they get up there. Got to keep competing. It's a 40-minute game. Got to keep playing.
Now, there'll be a major asterisk no matter what the final margin and outcome is of this game, and that's the absence of Terry Larrier. How long will he be out for UConn? If he's not available, what are the Huskies' chances Saturday against Villanova?
It's very difficult. The #1 team in the country.
Blocking foul gets a roar out of the crowd.
If I'm Tubby Smith, I'm taking out Jeremiah Martin, my top player. Nice block. 3 guys. Kevin Davenport might be the most talented guy on the Memphis team. And we see Larrier over there who's dying to play. There's Davenport right there. Tremendous talent. He's a junior college All-American, one of the top junior college players in the country. And he can do it all. He can shoot, he can rebound, runs the court. Tonight they didn't really need him.
And tonight he's had 8 and 5 that have been overshadowed by the stellar play of Parks and Martin.
Exactly. Get Jeremiah Martin out of the game. Game's over. You don't want your best player getting banged up right now. You played 43 minutes last game against Temple.
The running theme for Memphis during the 3-game win streak that appears imminent to shift to 4. Efficient shooting, high scoring. And they have had tons of up-close and personal looks from Mike Parks tonight.
Yeah, great penetration by Jeremiah. All the defense came on him. He dumped it inside of Parks with the finish.
UConn dealt with the difficulty of a losing season last year. A campaign that was marred by significant injury. Alley-oop. Off target for Adams. And Martin bumps. A foul on Carlton. It's 68-39. Martin wincing as that hit slammed onto the hardwood. For Jeremiah Martin, his sizzling play has transitioned for the first of the second half.
Terrific play in transition, knocking down 3s against his zone. Great range. He's gotten running. He's a big-time finisher on the break. He always finishes. Step back 3. He's good off the bounce, off the catch. He's doing it all. Terrific player.
His rebound total tonight, a new career high. Also has 4 dimes, 2 blocks, 3 steals, and he certainly had the better of Jalen Adams. In fact, the two have gone one-on-one a decent amount.
Yeah, once again, 19 points and 11. Now, Jeremiah Martin had a lot more help with Parks and Davenport. Unfortunately, Jalen Adams tried to do it by himself, didn't have much help. Keys to the game for UConn, knocked down 3s, didn't do it. 4 for 16, 25%. They're shooting 31% coming into the game. Protect the rock for Memphis. They had 19 turnovers last game, only 12. They did a good job protecting the basketball.
The pain on Jalen Adams' face as Martin sinks the free throw. You know, Adams has carried this team in many ways. Came off a dynamic display at Tulane when the Huskies got their first road victory. As Memphis starts to enter some of the walk-ons, Alex Moffitt out of NAIA Shawnee State, who's had a couple of years as a walk-on of the team.
I think Jeremiah Martin's coming out pretty soon now, I'm guessing.
And here's the sub. Wait for this crowd.
For number 3, Jeremiah Martin.
Great night for the young man from Memphis. Terrific player. Gotten better and better, really worked hard in the summer, and he's an outstanding point guard. Only a junior.
Under the radar player when he decided to come to Memphis. He originally was intending to go, he told us, to Louisiana Tech. Fell in love with Mike White and that coaching staff.
Yep.
Now doing a stellar job with the Florida Gators.
Exactly. Now he was leaning to them. He always wanted to go to Memphis, but they didn't really come after him too hard, and they offered. He said, hey, so I want to go. It's my dream school.
3-ball. Whistle. Fatal got hit. But Martin told us that one of his big champions, the little general, one of his coaches back at his high school days, Andre Turner, now the head coach at his high school alma mater, who had game-winning shots in 3 straight NCAA tournament games when Memphis was on its way to the '85 Final Four. He told anyone who would listen in Memphis, watch out for Jeremiah Martin. This kid's going to be a player.
He's right. Andre Turner was a great player for the Tigers, and he says, hey, this Jeremiah Martin's going to be real good. And he didn't come in here at the high level, but he's worked hard, gotten better and better, and Tubby Smith coaching him, living in the gym. He's a gym rat, and he's had a great start now to his junior season.
And for Tubby Smith, Martin and Parks tonight have outscored and out-rebounded UConn themselves.
Amazing. You know, two guys are on fire.
Vital hits some window dressing free throws. This final score will be a tad misleading. No Larrier, and the hot start that Memphis had, it just sparked into a giant fireball of success for the Tigers and difficulty for the Huskies.
Yeah, just got on a roll, and once again, unfortunately, the perimeter didn't help him out. Jalen Adams was very good, but other perimeter guys didn't help him. And the big guys, John, are good, but they're young. They're babies. They're Bambi. Both of them are freshmen.
It feels like that's part of the landscape now in college basketball. Foul by Kareem Sameazab. A little too aggressive there. You and I were talking about it riding around town yesterday. In the landscape of college basketball, depth, it feels like, doesn't exist outside of a very select few.
Yeah. Once again, it's tough to have depth. UConn doesn't have depth this year, unfortunately. Memphis a little bit more, as Coach Ali, and he's a terrific coach. Right now, he's just got to recruit, try to elevate the talent a little bit, develop the young guys. They're going to be good. They'll be back.
And remember, for the Huskies, Larrier's out tonight, but they've lost Alterique Gilbert after just 6 games with a shoulder. Sidney Wilson, the St. John's transfer, only went to summer school at St. John's. They thought he would be allowed to play. NCAA denied that in late December. They only have another 3 days to try to file and win an appeal. Johnson off the iron. And of course, Eric Cobb, the South Carolina/JUCO transfer, indefinitely suspended. Has missed the last couple of games, didn't go on this road trip.
Exactly, yeah. So, unfortunately, that's some bad luck, and you know, guys transferring and things like that. So, but they'll bounce back. UConn's a great tradition, a wonderful program. Jim Calhoun did a fabulous job there. Kevin Ali played for him, won a national title. I coached against Kevin. He was an outstanding player. When I was at Providence, class guy, and they'll bounce back. But hey, credit the Memphis Tigers. Tubby Smith's building the team, getting better and better. He's a lot of new players, only 2 guys returning, so this team is burgeoning, getting better and better.
Jeremiah Martin went off to that standing ovation. Here's a look at what he's done over his last 4 games. That's a career high in rebounding. His first point rebound double-double. He had point assist double-doubles in the past.
But that run, it's a point guard. He's really not a point guard. He's a points guard because he scores points.
Malik Rhodes. Carlton's got it. Anderson shovels, Vital. Carlton on the spot. Well, the Memphis Tigers are on their way to their first 4-game win streak in league play in 5 years. Their first in the American.
Yep. A tough one at Tulsa. It's going to be a tough game there. They beat Tulsa already, but be a tough one. But credit Tubby Smith's done a great job getting this program getting better and better.
Extra Gibbs. A little too unselfish there. Huskies with a minute.
1 minute.
UConn's going to plummet to 2-7 outside of its home building. The Huskies do get to be at home, but they're going to have their former Big East compatriot, #1 Villanova, on CBS Saturday.
They sell out at the XL Center in Hartford, so a lot of excitement. The #1 team coming to town.
Rhodes. Timer and game clock just about identical. Vital. He's got 14. The Tigers have the pronounced advantage. They can dribble out the clock. Those that brave the elements of this frigid and icy night witness to a blowout. Memphis dominates a man-down UConn squad. Tubby Smith and company. 12-1 at home. They have won 4 in a row. Now 13-6 on the year and 4-2 in the American. We take a look at how it shapes up. UConn plummets back into a tie with UCF. Some breathing room for the Tigers in that 4 spot.
Great defense by Memphis. Jeremiah Martin was fabulous. Mike Parks Jr. inside was great. So terrific win for Memphis. They really are getting better and better, and the defense got their offense going.
Dominating display for the Tigers. For the coach, Pete Gilman, and our entire crew, I'm John Sadak. This has been a presentation of CBS Sports Network, the 24-hour home of CBS Sports. We send you now to Brett Stover, Danny Granger, Gary Parrish, John Rothstein. They're in our New York studios. It's Inside College Basketball heading your way.